The holes need to be fixed. Yeah, no, they don't. I think the holes are good. Everyone's misinterpreting my entire understanding or direction I want with this. I don't want holes to be fixed forcibly. I want the worry of the people to have more effect on the people in positions. So this impeachment bullshit is trash, okay? Like I said, I think it's a very cool idea that any authority that is passed from the state has a power, whether it be sheriff, mayor, the DOJ, or the people. They should be able to create their own bill to push forward and say, I want this person impeached, or I want this law changed or looked at. It would obviously have a cost and would need the logical, PC or a criminal case to have passed or something. But if the masses can make it happen and any role is impeachable, then we've created an element that is already, hey, you need to consider what you're doing and make sure you make decisions based on the people in the world, not whatever the fuck you think outside. You are not invincible. Nobody is. And with shit like this, obviously, if the people voted and said, hey, I want to impeach fucking Bailey, and they wrote something that was like on the bill, hey, man, yeah, we want to impeach them because he's dumb. And then the DOJ, the sheriff, or the mayor could contest it. And if it was contested, then the state would just read it. And if it's stupid, it would just be thrown out and they'd lose their money. In saying that, if all of the voting avenues accepted the bill, it would be signed in. But then certain bills would be auto-signed and only be contested after they're signed. So imagine a judge sets a precedent. It would just automatically be signed by the state, and now that is a precedent that is public knowledge in the legislation or a legislation tab. But if the people don't like it, they could talk to the judge and be like, yeah, this is pretty dumb, whatever, maybe we could change it or something, and they could consider it. Or this is where the people would be like, hey, this judge is fucking stupid, let's just vote them out, you know what I mean? But the Chief Justice, I feel like being elected from the judges could be interesting. And then once they're in there, while they would still get oversight from the state, just like the mayor or sheriff or whatever does, it would be much easily managed by votes and the people in the world to make sure people are doing what is reasonable. And obviously, there's the worry that criminals would have a voting power, but the voting power on the civilian side would be based on non-felons over the last X amount of time. So the civilians actually get the power, not the criminals. Obviously, there's intertwinings with their value, but it creates two factions that are completely separate on the civilian and criminal side, while it also allows them to work together, since the criminals might need money to give to them, etc., to pass bills and shit. So everything, and that's how authority is passed down, right? Like, it shouldn't be one authority that is a mayor that now does everything. It just isn't really logical. But if we do it in a way where everybody has their, an option, but some are obviously, like I said, pass through straight away based on what it is, it should make things faster in terms of getting precedents set, but also make people think about why and how they're doing things while increasing their value overall to people. It might even be worth giving the lawyers a vote to, at any time, well, I feel like anything that's under that as an authority should be like, so the head of the bar, as an example. I'm not sure how a system like that would work, but I feel like what would need to happen is the DOJ makes the authority and they allow it to be voted in by, any lawyers that are active or law enforcement or some shit like that, you know what I mean? So it's like mini authorities under, which is what in my opinion, should be have been done from the get-go. Even like, You know, for instance, the mental health thing, that should be its own branch that might need even doctor legislations, because it's you know, obviously one of it's like what are they called, practices, doctor I guess it's practice legislation or something like that. I don't know. This sounds exactly like Minda was talking about a few days ago. Great minds think alike. Well, it's just how governments work. It's dude. The reality is, like, it's just created in a way where everybody who gets in power is in check by the people themselves and other entities in the world. It isn't. It's just how everything should work. Because the reality is, you can't die to guns, right? You don't need to really fear a gang. You don't really need to fear the cops. You don't need to fear shit, really. But you can fear the power of them filing to put large sentences on you. But they can also fear your power of saying, that's way too much, man. We gotta get your fucking offers voted out. And then the commission is like, okay, well, listen, we need to chill a bit, guys. I don't want that happening and shit like that. But it also allows for money payoffs, you know, actual collusion, corruption, and it is all managed by roleplay. It's definitely possible that things can be crazy, don't get me wrong. But, you know, like I said, everything's always going to technically be under, you know, admin viewpoints, I think, in a server, so. But that's also why the cost is there. People will not want to spend 250k to push for a change and know that it's stupid and likely going to get fucking booted, so. Shit, how long do I have bail for? Wait, can I even see that? Parole, even. This is all great, but who can change the penal code? Technically, the, DOJ. I mean, they have little authority for that. While it is named the San Andreas Penal Code, I think that's, like... just the name of the penal code. It doesn't necessarily mean... I mean, technically the DOJ would have the statewide license, right? So, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the point in this. Anything should be changeable. Judges should be able to change penal code and legislation. But it shouldn't be based on one opinion. It should be the judge and what they believe is right in that case. It shouldn't be, you know, what's implied in conversations on Discord. It should literally be their perception of the world and the law and the philosophies behind it. That should be how every case is done, with the fear of the people. Like I said, it's how a lot of games work, you know, politics and power. And if you have a power that is invincible, you don't have a game. Well, not a very fun one. Oh, it's only 12 o'clock. All right, beautiful boy. We'll give you a haircut later after you wake up, okay?